Somebody said third time's a charm. I don't know. I don't know. I promise you. I promise you. So if you're in the chat, let everybody know part 3 is underway. I don't even understand why. I just don't understand. Am I back? Can y'all hear me now? My phone rang and all of a sudden, look, be rich. If they weren't saying part 3, I was out. I was about to go. I was about to go if they weren't saying part 3, but you know, for some reason, like when my phone rings and I'm on live stream, sometimes it'll destroy my whole live stream. So that's what happened this time. And it just took my whole live stream. And now I don't even remember what I was saying. I don't even remember what I was saying. And we listen. But anyway, I know what I did want to focus on though. When we were talking about people doing community living, why aren't we community living? We are so focused on somebody else. It's already on do not disturb. That's why I don't understand. Well, I don't know. It might not be on do not disturb. It might just be like my volume, my sound is off. So you right. I don't know how to do that while I'm on the phone, so I'm not gonna mess up this one. Hopefully, my phone will not ring. Don't call my phone, okay? Family, if y'all listening, don't call my phone until I get off live, okay? Friends, don't call my phone. Okay. So, anyways, I was talking about, you were talking about how much land there isn't. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I just, for fun now, I go and I look at land in those certain places. But if you look at the cost of land, like how much land you can buy in like Albany, Georgia, in Valdosta, in Camilla, and Camilla and Colquitt and all of those places, you can get land for way affordable prices compared to how much you can buy in the state of Florida or in New York or in California. So you got to be looking into those places, looking in the South. But somebody said that heat and humidity, that a lot of people really cannot handle the heat and humidity. It just so happens that we have been living in Georgia all of our life. And in Georgia and Florida, we've been living here all of our life. Those are like the places that we've lived. And so we are not saying that we're just used to the heat and humidity, but but we definitely understand the heat and humidity. We definitely understand how to survive the heat and humidity. So that is something that is like, if you are accustomed to being up north, like when y'all hit 50 degrees in some places, y'all are still a little sun won't keep. When y'all up north hit 50 degrees, y'all are like, woo, it's summertime. But for us, like, we freezing. We cold. We freezing at 50 degrees. So there are other places. My whole point was that there are other places that you can go, that you can find land if you want to buy land. I know some of the places out Midwest, you got a lot of people who are moving out to the Midwest. But for me, I would rather deal with the occasional tornadoes versus like tornado season. Like we have hurricane season, but the difference is we know and we get warnings, when hurricanes are coming and all of this stuff. When tornadoes come through, it's like you might have a 10-minute, 3-minute warning. And if you don't have a bunker, then what do? You have to take your chances of riding that thing. So we all have our issues. We all have our things, right? We have alligators down here. We have snakes down here. A lot of people don't want to deal with that. A lot of people are just like, I'm not dealing. I'm not doing the snakes. I'm not doing the alligators. And so they're not doing the hot weather either. So they stay up north. So what you have to do is you have to make the best of what you want out of where you are. Make the best out of wherever it is that you are. Yes, that would be hard for me. I would have to live in the shower. And that's what I mean by we know how to survive down here. So in the summertime, yeah, you taking a couple of showers a day. If Especially when you're in a position like what we're in, yeah, you're gonna take a couple of showers because you got all of this heat, you got bugs, you got all types of stuff that is down here that you have to deal with in the South. But the benefits for us outweighs all of that. Some people think that alligators are just roaming the streets. I think somebody said that they had seen on the news or something that there was an alligator roaming the street. And so I think they assumed that Florida is just full of alligators just running around the street, running loose like stray dogs. No, they're not. They're not. Alligators like water. They don't want to live in your backyard. If they're in your backyard, it's probably because you're living on a lake or you're living on a pond or something. And if you're in Florida and there's water, there's probably gators. So there's certain things that you just have to know. But no, they're not on a regular, consistent basis, just walking down the middle of the street. And yeah, the news, if you believe everything that you see on the news, then yeah, you might have that perception of Florida, but it's really not like that. They'll go out of their way in order to find water. Yes, they will. But on a regular basis, they're not just wandering the streets, okay? They ain't doing that. Ina Stanley says, for us, we could have gotten way more land for our money down in South Georgia, but there would barely have been a market for us to transact business. Settled on Alabama between Birmingham and Montgomery. And that's what I mean. You gotta do what works for you. Just because it's like in the area where we live, there's not a whole lot of great paying jobs, okay, that's here. Now, for some people, you don't have to have a $100,000 a year job. If you can make money from the Dollar General and be an employee at the Dollar General, then for some people, if you live in below your means, that's cool and fine. It's like, shoot, I can take my vacation when I want to. I don't have to worry about going to nobody 8 to 5. I don't have to worry about any of that. I can just work at the local Dollar General, and then I got enough that I can survive. I can live. I can get the little stuff that I need. I can run over there and get some paper towels and some toilet paper and whatever, and I'm cool. That's all I need. All I need is just the basics. All I need is just enough money to pay my light bill or my water bill or whatever I have. And I can work at a part time job or work at a job that doesn't pay a whole lot of money. So, whatever it is that works for you, do that. Don't just move to a place just because the land is cheap. Um, I would have loved to be able to find 20 acres in Tallahassee and be able to pay cash for it and be able to have lenient rules to where I can still do whatever I want to do. I can still have animals. I can still do all of that stuff on my homestead, right? Hi, Rambo Green Hands. How are you doing? I would love to have been able to buy land over there, just close enough to where it could still be very, very convenient for, you know, work or whatever. But, you know, just sometimes you just have a series of unfortunate events and you end up in a situation like what we're in. And I know some people are like, unfortunate, 20 acres ain't really unfortunate. Well, it's not that. It's just that when you have the things that happened, we weren't even looking for 20 acres. The property that we were going to buy was 11 or 12 acres. It was 11 or 12 acres. It had structures already on the property. It already had a well. It already had a septic tank. It, all we needed to do was get out there. But it didn't work out. And so we ended up, and then when we went to look, if y'all remember me telling you the last time, when we went to look for housing, the housing was so incredibly expensive. I can remember when some of those houses were built. And this is why I'm saying, guys, get in this game. I remember when some of those houses were built, they dried up the swamp where some of those houses were built. And they put a whole entire neighborhood over the swamp that they built, that they dried up rather. They put a whole entire neighborhood, and those houses now are going for $250,000, $300,000. And we remember when those houses were built and they were selling for $60,000 and $70,000. You got to get in this game. You got to get in this game. So now do the math. And now they selling those houses for $250,000, $300,000. I ain't talking about no huge houses. I'm talking about small starter houses selling for those prices. But guess what? Those homeowners that were smart enough to get in at the ground level when that neighborhood was first starting to be built, those ones that got in at that level, at that $60,000 and $70,000 level to build them a house, they like cha-ching. All we had to do was stay here. And again, that's been 26 years ago when we first moved. That's been 26 years ago. And so now those people are just like, I mean, it's just money in the bank. It's just money in the bank. And they can take that 200,000 in equity that they have in the house and they can go and buy whatever they want. If they don't want land and just want to buy another house that just has a half an acre or whatever, then guess what they can do? They can take that equity and doggone near pay off the house, end up having a $200 or $300 monthly payment. Who can't scrape up $200 or $300 a month? There are people who panhandle who make that in a day. I remember one of my old coworkers. She was a social worker, and she said she asked this one lady in particular that was known for panhandling on the streets of Tallahassee. Why are you out there on those streets? Why do you keep going out on these streets? I see you out there and I know that you're getting money. You're getting Social Security money. No, they ain't supposed to panhandle here either. But guess what? Guess what they do? They still do it. But she asked this lady, why are you out there on the streets when you're getting Social Security already? And that lady said, oh, you looking at me like I'm the crazy one, but you in here working in these people job for these pennies when I can make $400 a day on the street. She said, when I can make $400 a day on the street panhandling. So why would I do what you're doing? Why would I go to somebody's job? Why would I spend all of my time working on somebody's job where I can make more money than you make by coming in here for 8 hours? Why? Nah, you ain't getting no money in the country now, not panhandling. You have to go to the city. Hi, Farmer V. Hi, TLC in the garden. How you doing? Yeah, they ain't giving you nothing in the country. You're gonna have to go to the city. But you go into the city of Tallahassee. Listen, you are going to rack up. You're going to rack up. And people do it because there are people out here with the heart to give. And they are going to get the money. So no, they're not going to work 8 hours on somebody's job and have somebody telling them what to do. They will deal with the little nonsense that they have to deal with out on the street. They ain't doing it. Panhandling is a job. They know exactly where to go and how to act. Matter of fact, they have a pimp. They have a panhandling pimp in Tallahassee. They have panhandling pimps. Do y'all hear me? They have panhandling pimps here. And let me tell you how I know. Because there's this one guy in particular who has a group of them. Yes, I promise you. I promise you. They have panhandling pimps around here. So the panhandling pimp will get his people and they will have a staff meeting, a panhandling staff meeting. This sounds crazy, but I promise y'all I'm being serious. I promise you I'm being serious. They will have a staff meeting over in the woods on the side of the area that they're going to work to panhandle. And they got their staff meeting. I swear I ain't lying. I swear. I swear. Eco Neighbor will tell y'all. Eco Neighbor will tell y'all that this is real. And so I'm gonna have to hold the phone. It went out again because it overheated again. I guess and do some work on the homestead, I believe is what's happening. I believe that's what's happening. It's trying to it's trying to tell me to get my tail up. The panhandler pimp story. Listen, I promise y'all, this has been a crazy. I am not doing a part 4. I just am not. I refuse. I refuse to do my part 4 for this live stream. So I'm sitting here. Can y'all hear me okay? I'm just gonna cool down the phone. I'm just gonna hold it instead of having it on the thing up there, the air. Then I think it'll stay cool for me to be able to complete my thought on this. Y'all can hear me okay? This is crazy, man. Okay. Hey, Branson Gardner, how you doing? Okay. All right. She can hear me. So, um, so I was talking about the panhandling. So they would go over into the woods on the side of the road in the area where they were going to panhandle at. And then look at that. See, Lorenzo Preston. I'm telling you, they out there. Uncle Early Live. How you doing? Hello. Good to see you. And so they would go over in onto the side, and you can actually see him actually fussing at some of them. Like it's a real thing. And then they'll go and he'll tell one to go to that corner. He'll send one down the street to another corner, and then he makes his rounds and he checks on them. He checks on them. He puts these people on the street to panhandle. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And so down here, there is a lot of money to be made on these streets. Because if these people were not making money, do you really think that they would continue to go out there on those streets if they weren't making money? A wise man once told me, people don't do things that don't work for them. They don't repeatedly do things that don't work for them. Yeah, it's real though. One of them, at least we seem to have people at all the lights. It's so annoying and dangerous, and and they weave in the cars, and one of them at least plays the fiddle. Yeah, we got in our area. We have a guitar player who's out there. And my sister said that my mom said something that was so funny. She said they saw the guitar player on the sidewalk, on the side of the street, and he was playing for money. And so she said, my mom saw this guy, and she was like, he has really nice hair. He should probably use that to go get him a job. I just thought that was hilarious. And I'm like, yeah, mama, some of them don't want jobs, baby. Some of them don't want jobs. But Buddy be out there playing, you know. He plays, and that's his work. He plays his guitar, and maybe one day, you know, he'll find somebody that's willing to give him a job, you know, playing his guitar or whatever. But who knows? You have to put yourself out there, because you never know who is watching. You never know. You. Hi, Darthex. How are you doing? But I'm telling you, there's sound. Darth, maybe restart behind us a little bit. But yeah, there people get very, very creative, you know, particularly. I think a lot more people don't want to, you know, go to work once they discover that they can get a little of that. Yeah, you do have some who are mental challenges, all this type of stuff, and you have others that they just don't want to work. They just don't want to, and they realize that if they do the panhandling, you know, and particularly if I don't know if panhandling pimp is better than via a pimp is better than just being an independent panhandler, but hey, you know, I ain't never did it before, so I can't say. We have had whole families out here proven to be a scam, husband, wife, and kids. Yes, and we have those as well. And let me tell you how I know that some of them are just full of it. So we had a whole family had the cutest little kids. But all of them, down even to the littlest one, who may have been 4 or 5 years old. They probably had 2 or 3 kids with them, and the youngest one had to be like 4 or 5 years old. Well, when you drive up and you're like, what are they doing on the side of the road? Because listen, these people are dressed in all of their, I don't know what you call it, but you know when the what are they, soccer, they call it football. So the players of football who are in South America, they wear a certain type of clothing that looks like their jerseys that they would play when they're playing soccer or football. And I think it's just a really, like, it's a really neat style of clothes, but it kind of looks like some of the jerseys that they would wear when they're playing this professional sport. And the whole family, Nikes, you know, they were clean, they looked good, they didn't look like they had been on the street or anything, but they were out on the street and were asking, people for money. And so when people were like, what are these rich people doing out here on these streets? What are they out here asking us for money for? And, we like, shoot, I can't even afford them shoes they got on. And, but you don't know what people's situations might end up being. You don't know what people's situations are. And it ain't my issue to figure out, but it's also not my issue. I'll buy them shoes off of you. Like, let me buy the shoes. How about that? Let me buy them shoes, because I don't have none of those. And me and wifey might wear the same size of them Nikes. I need some of them Nikes. But shoot, I can't afford to buy them shoes. Who knows, Darthex? Who knows? Maybe they stole the shoes. They could have. But they can also sell them. Take the shoes off, sell them shoes, get you some money. Listen, we have sold so much stuff. All of those heels that I used to have, that I used to hoard the heels, I sold them all. When it came down to my family needing to eat, my children needing some food, I put them bad boys on eBay and I sold them all. Some of them I got on my Facebook page. I was like, hey, anybody want some here? Look, these practically brand new. I'm taking such and such amount of dollars for them. You want them? You're going to have to pay for shipping, or you can meet me in town or whatever. Listen, when things get really hard, you do whatever it is that is required in order to save your family, to do whatever your family needs done at the time. So I'm just saying, ain't nobody is about to be giving you money when your family is up here looking like a Panamanian superstar. Nobody is about to give you their money when you on the corner looking like that. Now, if you looking like, you ain't had a bath in a while, you hungry, you a little skinny, then yeah, people are going to feel more for you and be willing to help. But you looking like you just came out of Panama, and your whole family is like dripped out. Ain't nobody fixing to give you no money. Yeah, priorities. Make somebody, maybe somebody got her hair fixed. I don't know. No telling. I've seen a family at the corner of the big box store. The wife got into a brand new car later. Yeah, seen that one too. And matter of fact, they caught one on camera. This guy who was out in the YouTube, the video is actually on YouTube, but they caught this guy out there panhandling, and he walked to the back of the building and took off his, homeless looking get up and got into a very, very, very expensive vehicle. So who knows why people do what they do. But anyway, help where you can. If typically I'll offer to buy somebody food. If I feel like I'm looking at somebody and they look like they have not had a bath, they have not, and they a little skinny, and I'll offer to buy them food. And then I had one guy who was like, I just need something to drink. And I was like, come on, let's go in the store, let's get something to drink. I bought him something to drink, and he was like, what? He said, can I get this instead? And I said, wherever you want to drink. And he said, yeah. He said, I just need you to be able to make it to the next city. I'll buy you a drink. I'll buy you some food. Am I just about to be out there just giving you money? Probably not. But I'll buy you what you need. If you need something to eat, I will absolutely feed you. I absolutely feed you. You want to go in the restaurant with me? You want to have a sit down? You want to talk about your situation? Whatever. Hey, if I got time. But typically, I will buy you something to eat if you're hungry. Robert Henderson said, hi, Robert Henderson. How are you? Says, got to definitely use discernment. Absolutely. 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 There's a panhandler at our corner store. He gives the food to his dog. Yeah. Yeah. You ever seen that movie with, oh, it's been so long ago, I forget his name, Tom Hanks, and he had Wilson to be his companion? Yeah. Sometimes people need that. Sometimes people really need their companion. They need something. If sometimes a dog is your best friend, and you can definitely depend in most cases to protect you and to be your confidant, and you got to worry about nobody telling your business and all of this. So who knows? Who knows? But yeah, I have done this way too many times today, and I need to get off of here and go, y'all, and do some work on the homestead. Eco Neighbor is walking around, and yeah, Castaway. Thank you, Be Rich. It was Castaway. So he made, that his companion while he was there on the island by himself. But sometimes we need that. Sometimes we just need that. But thank y'all for coming back. And listen, y'all just as crazy as I am, because y'all kept coming back. Every time I get kicked off or something, y'all kept coming back. So thank y'all for, it's my birthday weekend, so I am going to party this celebrating. My birthday was on Wednesday. So you're doing a little bit of celebrating throughout that time, but my official party is tomorrow, and baby, yes, we are going to party. All right. So thank you guys for coming in, and I will talk to you later. Have a wonderful day, and good seeing you all in the chat. So take care of your family, and if you didn't catch parts 1 and 2, go back and catch parts 1 and 2. So you guys, I'll talk to you later, and have a wonderful week. Take care. Bye-bye.